Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Tough times never last, but tough people do. I'm Michael Kuzilny, and thank you very much for joining us on this lovely Wednesday night. Remember, we all go through the tough times. We just have to make life better every single day, and quite often going through the fire makes us stronger. And God bless you if you're going through some difficult issues. Remember, tomorrow will be a better day, and hopefully it'll get better and better. And if you'd like to share your story, please feel free to call me anytime or email me. On tonight's show, a lovely lady who's courageous enough to share her story. Her name is Roshni, lovely, down-to-earth, spiritual lady. Thank you very much for coming on, Rosh.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. And you've been going through a difficult issue, and in recent times with the loss of your son, God bless him, and
thank you.
And even before that, it was tough times, wasn't it? Because you've been in and out of hospitals. You did it yourself. You didn't have a man to support you.
Yes.
Tell us right from the start. Where did the great lady grow up, and how come we're lucky enough to have you in Australia?
I grew up in Sri Lanka. I was born in Colombo, yes, and had my education there.
Yes.
But at a very young age, I went to UK because I got married very early in life, just at 22, and then my husband and I, he was studying there. So
yes.
I lived in UK for about 5 years, and then after that, went back to Sri Lanka, and my marriage broke up when I was married only 6 years down the track, and then I did not have a man in my life. So for 10 years, I couldn't find my ex-husband. He vanished.
Do you mind speaking up a bit? My hearing's not that best. Roshni, so when did you split up?
6 years after marriage.
Yes.
I lost track of him altogether. He came to Australia, and then I couldn't find him.
He just disappeared?
He just disappeared for 10 years.
For 10 years?
Yes.
And you had how many children, Rosh?
2 children, a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old.
3-year-old and 6-month-old.
Yes.
And tell us about the journey after that.
Well, I learned quite a bit in UK. I was working for the diplomatic corps in UK, and then it was in the journalists department. That was the Department of Journalism. So
yes.
I learned quite a bit there. And I started my own advertising and marketing consultancy in Sri Lanka.
Wow.
Yes.
And you've been living how long in Australia for now, Rosh?
The last 2.5 years I've been here consecutively. But before that, I was in and out of Australia the last 10 years with my son's illness, which was leukemia.
Leukemia, God bless him. At what age did you know that he had leukemia?
He was diagnosed at 16 plus, close to his 17th birthday, which was in 2000.
In 2000, God bless him, and he's feeling tired and lethargic, or?
Tired, lethargic, joint pains, headaches, and we were in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
The doctors there could not put a finger to it. Somehow they missed it.
They missed it? They
missed it because his ESR was down.
Yes.
On the blood counts,
yes.
But everything else was fine. So they just couldn't understand why.
No.
Until he collapsed one morning, and then the doctors told me that he was hemorrhaging into his body and had only 4 days to live.
How long ago was that?
That was in the year 2000.
Jeez.
Yes. And
so it's a blessing that he was with us for
10 more years.
10 more years.
Yes.
And when he finally got diagnosed, was that in Australia?
It was in Sri Lanka. He collapsed in Sri Lanka, and then the doctors advised me to take him overseas.
Yes.
Because in Sri Lanka there were no transplants.
So you came with 2 children?
No, my elder son was already here studying at Monash University.
I see.
So I opted to come to Melbourne because of that.
Because of that, and then you got some good treatment and...
Yes, at the beginning, well, we were called international patients because we were not residents of Australia.
Yes.
So we had to pay. Even for the Panadol, it was a payment. So the initial payment to the hospital, the Royal Children's Hospital, was $60,000 to start his treatment.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, and then 1 year in and out of hospital here. and well, accommodation, running a car, everything. So it was all money, but somehow we got him out of it thanks to the doctors here. Australian doctors, they were marvelous. Yes, and then we went back home. He was okay. He was on chemotherapy for 1.5 years consecutively, and then 6 months on oral tablets, and we went back home. And then he relapsed in 2004 again, in the end of 2004. Then he had to have a transplant early 2005, a bone marrow transplant.
Oh God, that yeah, one of my friends had that, and yeah, all the viewers there, people come up to me all the time on the street, parents whose children are suffering from life-threatening illnesses, and God bless you. It's a very tough journey, and here's an example of a lady who's been through it, and now of course she's going through the tough times, but we'll be back very shortly after the break with Roshni telling us her very heartfelt story.